this season, whatever they tried last season, it's gelled together well. And obviously they have a few new players that complement certain positions in the team. So I feel like this year they've done their work.
What makes you so confident?
Oh, come on, bro. Look at the quality. Come on, bro. Yeah, no disrespect to them, but
there's going to be a time eventually. But I don't want to give away too much. But for me personally, wherever I'm at, I'm 100% committed. In my opinion, it's probably the best player in the competition.
That's what I kind of tried to come here to do, to just give them the push to win against the big teams.
Grateful to players. Hamza, both part of the same club. Ahmed being a footer himself, we don't play together, but it's still the small areas. You know how you can kind of predict how they're going to move, so you can kind of adapt with the next steps.
The Newbury loss kind of tipped the scales, but yeah, at the end of the day, if we want to win the grand final, we should be able to beat every team we verse. So,
do you think it was fair or sporting?
Nah, I think that's poor. Pretty embarrassing if you ask me.
Here come Workers on! But it's fallen here towards Icon!
Oh my word.
To find her teammate in Izzy Grant! And now played and struck and in! People, Ryan Dominici! And further forward now to
We're all ready to play and yeah, we'll go out and smoke it this time.
Well, it is crunch time here in the Blacktown Men's Premier League 1 with, of course, Workers and Marong facing off in what is a do-or-die clash this Saturday, 5 p.m. Got a host of very good talent from the Marong boys here to discuss that one, and also they're running to the end of this season, which was pretty hectic. Shea, I go to you first. You guys were outside of the top 4 for the majority of the season. You slip into 4th on goal difference on the penultimate round of the season, and you hold your place after a rampant end to the game against yourselves against Newbury. Can you sum up the feelings of when that final whistle finally came around?
Yeah, it's been a really tough season for us, to be honest. We had a lot of injuries. Nearly every game we played, not to make any excuses, but nearly every game we played, we've had more than 7-8 people out. But thanks to our 21s and Resi boys always backing up for the first. And at one point we were 8-9 points away from the top 4. And did we ever give up? No, we didn't. But we knew it was possible, but we just had to do all the hard work. And at the very last game against Newbury, and it all paid off and results went our way. So very, very pleased with that and looking forward to the finals now.
Dill, thanks for coming back. I mean, you've made, I think, 3 podcast appearances already this year. That's a lot of caps for you. Look, it doesn't take a body language expert to look at when we were in the change room, 2 months ago before the Blacktown Workers match of the round. And I think it's fair to say now, in retrospect, looking back, that you guys probably weren't mentally exactly where you needed to be, perhaps physically or as a group where you needed to be. Since that Workers lost, though, in that match of the round, only one loss, and it was to the undefeated, premiers in Ponds, which obviously can all come undone in finals time and shift around. That's not a terrible run in past that point. But if we throw all the way back to that point, can you be honest with me and the audience now as to where you guys were and how far you've come since?
Yeah, I think at that point we were pretty much at a breaking point. Like we said, we did have a meeting around that time to just regroup and relook at our season. So since then, we've definitely picked it up. We're look, going into the finals, you don't want to say you're still not there yet, but we've still got another 10 steps that we can step up. So I think when we come into this game this weekend, teams should know that we're not the same team that they've played previously this year. It's a whole new team coming into this final round.
I don't know if that's Workers that are behind the camera that are screaming or not, but they sound pretty scared. Mubi, let's get you on. Of course, grand final winning goal scorer of the 2023 season. Great to have you. Hello, Eamon. Welcome to the podcast. We're in the middle of this. No swear words, and just be nice and good. We'll take another step back, guys, as we fill everyone in. Mubi, welcome back to the podcast as well. Thanks for blessing us with your presence. It's been a season where you have sort of fluctuated between coming off the bench and starting for the first grade. But lots of ins and outs. It's probably, in terms of in the live stream era, it's probably been Marong's most used first grade players, I would say. You guys have been through the wars in terms of the number of players that you guys have used. Usually it's such a tight squad. So can you sort of explain to me about what that's been like to go through this rigmarole of 21s players being used, Resi's players being used, and first graders dropping in and out all the time?
I think it all comes down to the coaching staff as well, making them all feel welcome and as part of the team. everyone's really hungry, so everyone's just there to push. It comes down to the coaching staff, making the 21s boys and the Reds all feel welcome. Even like for me, when I dropped down, it just comes down to passion and wanting to be as part of the team, or having a job to do. So anyone that steps up, they know what to do. They know what the other players were doing, what they got to do and things like that. So they're just always up for the job.
Riv, we'll get you on as well. Welcome back to the podcast, to you, my friend. Another season under your belt back at Marong, which I think just looks right on Rivalda, you know what I mean, being in these colours. And another chance now that you've made the finals to go and do something. And I think it's weird because for once, Marong, maybe since 2022, kind of come into the final series with a bit of weight off their shoulders. And we know very well, watching any level of football, that when teams come in with that lowered expectation, like Spain, for example, heading into World Cup, no one really had them as the genuine favourites, and all of a sudden they whitewash the competition, not conceding more than one goal. So talk to me about what you're expecting, what this group is expecting out of this final series.
Well, just looking at how this season went, I think the fact that we got to this stage, it gives not just the staff and coach, but the players, it gives us big hope that if we do put in the work, we do get the results. And things didn't go our way this season, but I feel like we forced it to happen. So just because we could do that, we could even go further than just next weekend.
Eamon, let's get you on the podcast, on the microphone finally. Welcome to it. Pleasure to have you here. Made you wait because you were late, but that's okay. You came into the fold sort of midway through last year. You were relied upon. You immediately got goals and assists in the match of the round games, one of which was at Workers, of course, as well. Yeah. This year, you've really been, I wouldn't say just sort of introduced into the squad, you've been relied upon now to perform. How have you found your first full sort of senior season?
It's good. It's been a good experience playing with these boys. Been here for 3 years now. It's good to actually play I've been pretty much a full season with them. It's good, gaining experience with them, and it's a different level, obviously, than 21s and playing reserve grade. In the past, it's a whole different ball game. There's more to play for, and it's great coaching staff as well. They've been all integrated from 21s to reserves to first grade now.
Everybody knows that you were the best player across those 3 grand finals that you won with the 21s, and I think people knew that you were going to eventually step into the first grade fold. It was inevitable. I mean, there was talks of you, if that didn't happen, that you would easily step back into the representative world, the NPL world, if you wanted to. But you stuck it out, and this is where you are now. You're up there with one of the best midfielders in the comp, and certainly one of the most talented as well. So, what was it like, going from carrying up? No disrespect to the 21's teammates of those eras, but essentially carrying that team as the most looked-to player, and then having to step into this senior, winning team and trying to sort of fit in that way.
They made it very easy for me, of course. Shia and Kev, they made it very easy, to integrate. I wouldn't say I carried the teams in the past. It's been a whole team effort, but they made it easy for me, of course, making appearances in the past from 21s as well, just playing backing up. So they really slowly eased me into playing first grade. So it's been all right. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of pressure, as it's a whole team. It's a whole team effort at the end of the day.
Fantastic, Dill. I'll get you back on as well. How much depth is there in this squad, considering that you're also in Resis as well, and 21s as well? We know that there's been squad depth issues, but how about this first grade? Where is that at in terms of the number of players of first grade calibre that's available to go this weekend, and what's a knockout game?
Yeah, I think pretty much us getting into the finals pretty much speaks for our depth. Look, we did have a struggling year, but it's because of that depth that's got us to the finals. Like Shia said, we have big numbers of injuries every week, players out, but with the depth that we have, that gives us that push to get into the finals. So yeah, the team's got good depth.
Shia, I throw to you from the coach's perspective on a similar sort of question to that. Are there any big outs? Were there any injuries at the back end of round 18? What can you reveal? What are you willing to let workers know a couple of days out from Showdown?
Yeah, we had Quat out. He got injured the week before, 2 weeks before that. We had Rivaldo. He was sick. He was unwell. We had Michael away. We had, most of the guys that we relied on throughout the year weren't there on the last game. But we, us coaching staff, we love taking risks, giving the young boys a go. We know what they can deliver to us at the end of the day, and the Resi's boys, and we had a player from the 21s as well, got up and did the job for us. Fortunate enough to be in the top 4, so it was a good result for us at the end of the day.
Maybe a couple of mid-season signings came in. From your perspective, how helpful were they in getting you guys over the line?
They definitely helped, especially with us getting so many injuries. I think that kind of freshened up our squad. We also had a few players leave, and that definitely helped us as well.
Riv, I go to you. I want to talk about Workers. Of course, that is one of your former clubs. You spent a decent bit of time there, and obviously they have probably been the strongest version of Workers we've ever seen since they became a Premier League club again. What can you recall on in terms of your time at the club and the players that are still there, and what makes them so strong?
No, I think the difference this season is that last year was a building phase for them. So when I was there, I was seeing the things that they were trying. They're really trying a lot of different things, and I feel like this season, whatever they tried last season, it's gelled together well. And obviously they have a few new players that complement certain positions in the team. So I feel like this year they've done their work.
Cher, I want to talk about Workers specifically. They've had an edge on you in the sense that in one of the first rounds of the season they got 2 goals very late to make it 2-2. That was in one of the first rounds of the season. In the match of the round, we know that they got the better of you in that game, and there was a couple of unfortunate things, like you lost Daniel Martignago that game on a freak day of injuries as well. Strange old evening that one was, but they were better, and they scored a free goal and they won. How are you? What are the conversations you and Kevy are having ahead of this one?
Yeah, look, Workers probably been the best in their first grade squad. They've been the best this year, especially. They've gathered some good players, but with the first leg when we played them here, it was a very even game. Like first half, I think they dominated. Second half, we dominated, but Workers are Workers. They regardless of the scoreline, they never give up. And that day, I think, I'm not sure if we fell asleep towards the last couple of minutes, or maybe got comfortable with the result, thinking we're going to get the 3 points. But when you play top sides, you never give up. And when we played over there at Labour, in all honesty, I don't think it was a 3-1 game. First half was 1-0, or it was a 1-0 game, and then one little defensive error, and a goal from Ahmed Sweden, which was a really good goal, but from mistake, and he took the opportunity and led his team. And after that, I think our boys just dropped. And then once we dropped, and then knowing that it was towards the end of the game, I think it was really hard for us to step up and get back into the game. But heading into the finals now, it's a different ball game. Top 4. Anyone can beat anyone now. It's completely different football, and we're ready for it. We're going to do some good feedbacks and see what we can gather and come up with a good game plan to stop their main targets.
Yeah, so let's speak to Eamon about one of their main targets. Obviously, the name that will be on everybody's lips is Ahmed Sweden, who was up there in Golden Boot contention this year and might be up there for Player of the Year as well. But I think where Workers have changed probably most dramatically has been in their midfield. I mean, they've got 2 brand new 6s, that Scottish guy, and they've got Mitchell Precious as well, who obviously got that opening goal in the Blacktown Cup final. That's where your battle is. That's where I think the game is won and lost. I think that's where it was won and lost when I called that match of the round. So what do you recall about previous games against Workers and those, that midfield 3 in particular, and what are you taking from those 2 into this one?
Like Shia said, I think the first game in Versum, I think it was a bit more even than it looked. I feel like we dominated that. In the second half, we really came together. But then again, it is what it is. We got the draw. But in the second game, they good on them. They got the win. But at the end of the day, that's in the past. So I reckon we'll just see what happens this time. But finals game is a different game.
What makes you so confident?
Come on, bro. Look at the quality. Come on, bro. Yeah, no disrespect to them, but I always back my boys 100%, no matter who's playing or no matter what. I always got 100% faith in them.
Well said. Dylan, captain, one thing that I've noticed this year is that you have a particularly good record of winning games when Michael Adomiko is around. Is he around?
What do you mean by is he around?
Is he here? Is he going to be here on the weekend?
Yeah, he'll be. He's around. He's around. As to whether he'll play or not, I'll wait till Saturday to find out.
Okay. Any insight?
Show the team.
He'll be here. He's ready.
Okay, he's ready?
Yeah. He had his annual leave approved for last game, but he's got no more leave there, so he's all right. He'll be here on the weekend.
Okay. All right. I asked him the same question when I ran into him at the Chelsea game, so that was interesting. He couldn't give me a straight answer then either. From one key player to another, what's the let's use that word again, status. What's the status of Kelvin? Is he still married?
Kelvin is still married at this current point. As to his status, that's another one that you'll have to wait and see on the weekend. So come to the game and find out.
Happy to wait and see. 𝙨𝙧𝙧, I'm going to throw this one to you. I want to get a bit more serious and a little bit less smiley about these things. I think it's fair to say that there are some really strong eras that have been built in terms of coaches, particularly the big three of the Blacktown Premier League clubs, and I think four we can probably extend that to now. But Jason Charles at Workers is very new into his tenure there. He's only 2 years in compared to you guys. I mean, you and Kev, you've been kicking around for a long time, close to a decade now together. Obviously, Elliot at Pons has been kicking around for more than half a decade, certainly throughout the entire live stream era. This is tough and taxing. I mean, you yourself backed this up with African Cup for most of the last couple of years. There's been 2 times now that I've made you and Kevy work your backsides off to also do All-Stars on top of that. This is not easy year on year on year. Now, I don't want to speak like it's the end of the world, but this is a knockout podcast. If it was a grand final, I want to be a bit different. But if I don't get to speak to you guys again, where's your head at regarding this year and how it rolls into next?
Yeah, like you summed it up pretty well, man. Like it's the top 4, especially like Pons right now. They're having the best season, in the Cotton Cup final, and credit them. I personally think they're the best team this year with the style of football they've been playing, and they've been dominating a lot of the games they play out through the year, and I think they just finished undefeated all season as well. Congratulations to them as well. But with 𝙨𝙧𝙧 and Workers, I think the competition this year and overall has been very tough. Like the top 4 teams, on the day, if you don't perform, regardless of who you're playing at the bottom teams, they will punish you. And this is the good thing about it this year, especially. Like we played Polonia, we were down 3-1, and we managed to get a draw. Or Newbury gave us a good run on the. Like bottom teams don't mean anything honestly anymore. It's if you show up on the day, play your football, and there's no easy games anymore. That's the good thing about it, especially this year. But. What was your next question? Last question?
I just want to know where your head's at.
For this year?
Well, I mean, I can't imagine that if you were to be looking at, anything else, you're not going to be leaving at the end of at the start of a finals run. But I'm just talking about how long you guys have been together and how taxing this has been. Like I'd imagine at some point you guys are going to get tired, but I just wanted to know where you're at personally.
Me personally, I think I'm getting close to not my end of my coaching career, but. There's going to be a time eventually, but I don't want to give away too much. But for me personally, wherever I'm at, I'm 100% committed to finish the year with the best of my ability to show these boys. And my goal is always to achieve them, not only as a footballer, but as a character, to bring the best out of them. And if I can leave a good footprint, I'm glad. I feel like I did my job. It's not just about winning titles, but I don't know. I can't answer too much, but I think this is my 9th season now. But like you said, I am getting old.
Well, it wasn't too long ago since your last match of the round appearance, so we can't forget that. We still need to see that find its head again in this final series, maybe. We'll get you on the park for a couple of goals.
No, unfortunately, I'm not registered this year, so you won't be seeing that.
Najee.
Otherwise, I would have loved to.
Come on, take a penalty. Riv, just hearing that, not that she has actually said anything, but just hearing about what it means for him to go and to do good by you guys, not just as footballers but as people. Is it? And I know you specifically away from football. You work with people. Like you understand what it means to have that personable connection and build on these on relationships. So when you hear your coach, who's obviously very motivating and wants you guys to succeed in and out of the game. Does that make you want him even that little bit more?
Yeah, of course. Like I've known Shearer for long, and he's someone that you can call. Like I've had times that I had to call him just for general things, and it's like it's football, but at the same time you are spending time with other human beings, and you tend to build a bond, trust, and sometimes you see that you share the same views as someone, and you can just go to them for certain things. So it gets deeper than just football, just coming here. It's more like a brotherhood, especially if you've been around for 9 years with people. You build friendships. It's something that is like for life. It's not just a Wednesday, Saturday type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it very much does. Thank you for your answer. There's agreement. Eamon, I'm going to throw to you. This is a question I don't usually throw at newbies, but good luck to you. And that's just about if again, this is a knockout. If the season were to end right now with the campaign that Marong have had in this first grade context, how do you review it?
It's been a season of ups and downs. You know, it's been a long season. It showed character throughout the team. You know, through injuries and the sacrifices everyone's had to make. You know, we've had people like Dylan throughout the club doing all the JDL, all the technical director stuff. We've had Shia and Kev, going through it all. You know, it's been a long season. I wouldn't say it's been a negative season. I'd say it's been a season of growth. You know, not just as footballers, but as human beings. Showing resilience in everything we're going through.
The nods of approval, most certainly. Penultimate question, Mubi, I go to you. Your biggest learning or takeaway from this season?
I'd say it's kind of brought us together. We've went through tough times, and coming out of those tough times together, it's kind of brought us closer. We've also had a few meetings where we've come out of it feeling more better and closer as a family, I'd say. So, not a great season, but it's shown some of our characters, and it's brought us a little bit closer, I'd say.
Dylan, character building, a couple of, I imagine, colloquially bashing heads together in meetings or whatever it required. But you're here now, and as again, the pressure's not on you. Realistically, it's on Ponds. Let's be perfectly blunt, or it's on Doonside as the reigning champions, right? Let's be really, really honest about the situation. It's 3 games away. It's 3 games away. You guys have lost 1 in the last 9. So it could very well turn into a season that's got a couple of negatives thrown in there to one that becomes very memorable very, very quickly. So I've always asked you about the message to the group as the captain, but I kind of don't want to ask that same thing again. But the chance to turn what could have been classed as a mediocre season by your high standards into a very, very good one is right there, and that must be a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. It is a good feeling. The fact that now it's kind of all in our hands. I think previously, like when you play throughout the season before finals, you kind of never know what's going to happen, and because we've always sat at the top, we kind of breeze through the games. But now we're in a situation where our backs are backed against the wall. We've got this opportunity in our hands, and it's up to us to either drop it or run with it. So the boys are already, as they've all said, it's been a tough season, but we're all together, and I think this weekend will show.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 2 more, just so I know you need to get to training. But I'm going to throw to you quickly. 𝙨𝙖𝙧𝙩, just want to talk specifically about him. What's the plan? Is it to pop his tyres before he gets to the ground? What are you going to do to stop, one of the best players we've seen play in the comp?
I already spoke to him. We're going to go for a coffee on Friday night, and then he won't be there on the weekend. Yeah, he won't be there on the weekend. He said he's got some stomach issues or something. But look, credit to him, man. He's a really good player. I think, in my opinion, he's probably the best player in the competition. But it's not just him. I think them as a unit, they've been really stand out. But we've got a game plan, and it's just like you said earlier. When it comes to finals, it's us and Doonside pretty much the most experienced. Yes, Ponds have made the finals 6 times and lost, but they just lack that last bit. They're having a good year this year, and workers. They're, like River said earlier, it's a building phase. It's not easy to achieve these kind of things, but I think we know the feeling of losing a final, and we also experienced enough to know what it feels to win it as well. So I think going into this game, I think they've got to worry about more than us worrying about, because we've already experienced both losing and winning. So we're ready.
Yes, you have, off the back of last year, of course. And that
right.
was pretty heartbreaking. Rivaldo, have you got a prediction for us?
Ooh. It's always a good match against Workers. But like as she says, whoever shows up, I feel like the boys are going to show up, so I'll say 3-1 hour.
Okay. 3-1
Yeah.
reverse of the... Okay, 3-1. Yeah. Reverse of that last one. 4-1. Okay, very, very brave.
You want to say?
Wouldn't have picked it up, so what did you say?
No, 3-1.
Okay, we'll go with that. Thanks very much to these boys, Marong boys, for sticking around. Actually, before training starts, we're going to let them get to that. And thanks for giving us some good content. Best of luck this weekend, boys. Thank you. Well, here we are with the Blacktown Cup champions. Just a couple of weeks after the first ever Blacktown Cup went the way of the Blacktown Workers, we're here to talk about that. They're running to the end of the season where they secured third place and a date with Ponds and a knockout quarter-final clash, if you like. Luke Clark, welcome back to the podcast. Great to have you on for the third time this year, racking up the caps. You've come, you've conquered. You've come all the way internationally to win this cup. Congratulations on being a Blacktown Cup champion. How did it feel in the moment?
Oh, it was great. I was dying on the pitch on antibiotics, so it wasn't the best, but it was nice to get the win. Enjoyed it.
Yes, you're still contagious?
No, all good.
Great,
Yeah,
so I don't need
all
to...
good, mate, aye.
Fantastic.
Back to normal.
Yeah, so Jason told me, I'm not sure if you're willing to reveal, but you were quite sick. It involved...
Full vomiting.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, you happy to
at
reveal
half
that?
time? Yeah, full scale vomiting. Couldn't stop coughing, and but still got the job done. So
now, no one really got near you in the midfield. But do you think that's because maybe you smell bad, or
could have been that?
Yeah.
It was a bit of a defence mechanism just to keep people away.
It was good. It was a very good game by you guys. Look, it was a Wednesday night, so I kind of curtailed the celebrations a little bit early. All of you guys kind of went home as the strong-willed gentlemen that you are. But what an achievement for this group, and how far you guys have come since round one, I'd say.
Oh, it was great. Really good. I thought we dominated the game, deserved to win, and it was the same throughout the whole tournament. I thought we played well in kind of all the games we played. So it was good. Really enjoyed it.
Ahmed, another golden boot for you, finishing the season with 17, which means you now have 3 golden boots. This one a co-shared golden boot, as it was with 𝙨𝙖𝙧𝙩 last year as well. But you've really been racking up the goals in the last couple of years, and I think it's fair to say that you're definitely one of the best strikers, if not the of the era. That's another all-star place for you in your back pocket. Congratulations to you. So, again, I ask you, how do you feel?
Thanks, Marco. Yeah, again, feel good. I guess it's a good achievement, but again, full credit to the team. Again, I said it in the group chat. I can't really have done it without them. So, to be honest, it's been probably easier than ever this year for myself. To be honest, like the boys are just supplying me with everything, and yeah, couldn't be more thankful and appreciative. And obviously, shout out to my wife at home and the family too, and my friends.
Fantastic. Sharing on the love. You're allowed to take some credit for yourself as well. I remember last year when there was a rescheduled game where you banged in some goals in what was round 18 last year, and you knew what you had to do in order to get the golden boot. How did that sort of go this year with the different timed last round 18 schedule? How did it go, and how did you know? When did you find out?
Well, going into it, I knew. Well, to be honest, I thought I was ahead of Icon going into it, so I was, I guess, fairly relaxed. I thought maybe one would do it, and then lo and behold, just before kickoff, Wixie tells me that we're actually even. So I was like, I have to score today. But it's just kind of take the game as it goes when you're on the field, and you're not really thinking too much about it. I can only control what I can do, and ended up scoring 1, so thankfully it was enough in the end.
Okay, we're going to come back to a goal that you scored in another comp in the Blacktown Cup final in a sec, but let's get 𝙨𝙧𝙖𝙧 on. This is a third 𝙨𝙧𝙖𝙧 on the podcast. I think that makes you the most capped family as well to be appearing on this grand old show. Thanks for your time. You have, let's be really honest about this, you've made a great difference to a defence that needed that little bit more stability and pace, and I think the ability to just hit a ball into the midfield with a bit of oomph behind it. I think you've brought that in, and that's that little bit of technical quality that maybe not every other defender at this level who's come through Blacktown systems potentially has. Your rep experience has certainly come through and shone on and off the ball. it's quite the LinkedIn introduction I've given you there. But what a first season for you. And did you expect it when you joined this group that it would be as potentially as good as it has been?
Yeah, definitely. Like my brother, like Ibi obviously and Karim have told us about the quality in the team and how they've gone the last couple of seasons, but I think they've been struggling to get into the later stages and the big games, and that's what I kind of tried to come here to do, to just give them the push to win against the big teams.
We will talk about that as we go on through this podcast. For you as well, sort of the middle of the block of the season, you cop an injury, I believe, to the hamstring, into the quad. Forgive me, wrong part of the leg. How are you feeling now that it's been a couple of weeks since you've returned?
Yeah, feeling good. 100% fit. So yeah, it was a long 6 weeks, but slowly just had to be patient and just recover properly, just so I'm ready for the finals. And then just taking it easy the last few weeks and just getting ready for the finals.
Cameron, welcome back to the podcast. 2 goals across 3 years. Granted, there was an ACL recovery in there, and then you get the amount that you did this year, which I believe was up to 8 by the end of the season, if I'm correct. So pretty fantastic. You've created a position and been able to hold it down for yourself at the top of that midfield, but you're kind of everywhere. You move left and right. You don't really sit in that 10, that zone 14. You're everywhere, and I think watching you play brings me a lot of joy. What's brought the best out of you this year?
A lot of things. I think for me personally, it's I've had as you said, ACL a couple of years ago, and I had a tough few years prior to that as well, and I was just happy and proud that I was being able to stay on the field consistently this year and even last year as well. But this year, what really kind of shined is the group that I'm playing with. We've been extremely consistent, which I think it's a big difference to where the first grade squad was last year. For example, midfield 3 didn't really change unless 1 week, which was last weekend. And the back line don't change unless there's players away, and the front 3 don't really change because there's players away. So there hasn't really been a chance for the coaches to make a decision and drop anyone because of quality on the field or poor performances. It's just been a matter of player availability. So I think that's been consistent in the season, and that's why we have been successful to this point with the Blacktown Cup in our hands. But going into this weekend, it's a new weekend. Finals footy is finals footy, and we need to rock up and show that we deserve to be where we are.
People say that it takes, or specialists say that it takes about 2 years to recover from the ACL. 1 to do it, and then also the next to kind of get into it and relearn things and get a lot of confidence back. What was your experience with the recovery journey? Because there's plenty of people that are watching this tonight who are going to be going through that or have gone through that or are going through that right now. So what was your experience like?
Yeah, I think there's 2 parts of it. I think physically, the doctors and physios and surgeons say 12 months you'll be physically ready to play. But they don't really, they do talk about it, but they don't talk about it as much as the mental side of it. Even last year, and to be me personally, I think I did have a good season, but I didn't push as much as I wanted to. And this year I had a really good pre-season with futsal. And going into pre-season with workers, we had a really, really intense pre-season. But this year I've just been felt really consistent, really physically strong, mentally fit, which I think that was important. And I just take week by week at the moment. I'm not getting younger by the weeks are going, so I'm just trying to play as much footy as I can, and it's a great bunch of lads, and I'm happy to do it with these boys as well.
Plenty of time left. Interesting that you guys intense preseason, so nice to know that you went camping. You get it. Just want to talk about the futsal. I mean, I've come across on Facebook, and I randomly saw you playing in a final one day. I think it was UTS versus somebody. I can't quite remember, but I came across it, and I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that. You're not the only futsal representative to play in this squad, and I think it shows in the way that this workers team set up and the trust that a couple of players in particular are entrusted with to produce quality and create chances on the ball. Kind of a whimsy question, but does it have an impact having that futsal background for a couple of you guys out there?
Massive impact. I've obviously got my 2 brother-in-laws that I share the pitch in first grade regularly. They're 2 great futsal players. 𝙨𝙩𝙖𝙧𝙩, both part of the same club. 𝙨𝙩𝙖𝙧𝙩 being a footer himself. We don't play together, but it's still the small areas. You know how you can kind of predict how they're going to move, so you can kind of adapt with the next steps. But futsal, massive influence on your footballing abilities, especially in small tight areas and as an attacking player. So I play 10. In and around the box, trying to play balls through to my golden boot striker so he can score more goals, and that's what I need to do.
And I want to talk about the relationship with your namesake buddy on the wing. Quite the duo that's formed up there. But also, I mean, like Danny Max played off the left. Jimmy can play up there as well. I mean, I know there's been a bit of change on the left, but you two Ahmeds have been pretty solid up top. And I can't think of many better duos in the last couple of years gone by. How quickly did this, you can kind of look back at the whole season, how quickly did this, this duo up top form into the partnership that it's become?
I mean, pretty quick because, I think he only played like one preseason game. I didn't play that game. So like the first time I played with him was round 1 against 𝙨𝙖𝙧𝙩. And I don't know, just kind of has flowed from there. I feel like I've got a good understanding of how people play and my teammates play, and I'm flexible in that I can work around them. So I think it's been pretty simple, to be honest.
Good. Did you show him any diagrams at the start of the season?
It's dead. It's so dead.
Harms, I want to talk about one thing that happened pre-Blacktown Cup that we've actually already covered technically, and it's about that Newbury game. That's where the 𝙨𝙖𝙧𝙯 swap with you guys happens. You guys are sitting in around that top 2 for the entire sort of duration of the season, and then 3 rounds out from the end, 𝙨𝙧𝙯 kind of turn it on with all their their players returning back. That means you've now finished in 3rd place despite being sort of perfect since that point. And that means that you're in a knockout every game is essentially a final for you guys because there's no second chances, whereas for the top 2 there is. So, disappointment at all that second place slipped away, or are you just happy to be in the finals and be as strong as you are?
I think there is a little disappointment, especially as you mentioned, the Newbury loss kind of tipped the scales. But at the end of the day, if we want to win the grand final, we should be able to beat every team we verse. So even if an extra game, it's not the end of the world. Like some teams, if they have a break, they dip in performance. But if we're consistently playing games, I think that would also help in the later stages of the finals.
Ahmed, twice now out of their 3 grand finals wins, 𝙨𝙧𝙧𝙯 have lost to Ponds in the safety straight to the grand final ticket game, then gone on to beat the winner of essentially this fixture this weekend, and then gone on to win the grand final, which means they play 3 games, and that's rendered 2 grand finals for them. You guys are going to have to play 3 games if you want to do that too. So does it make you feel a little bit more sort of pressure off the shoulders, or knowing that at least it's been done, that you can falter a little bit, you can have a stumble backwards, and you can still very much be a grand final contender?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us the confidence more so comes within ourselves. I think like we have shown throughout the season and every week at training that we have the skills, we have the abilities, within the squad. So I think that's more so what we're kind of resting our laurels on. That's
very, very fair. Luke, I go to you. Marong, your favourite team to score against, apparently. 2 of your 3 goals this season coming against them. But a team where in the last match of the round that you guys played against them, 3-1 at this very venue. I've already had a chat to them about that game, but I now want to hear it from your perspective. I thought the better team won on the day, that being you guys. What can you recall from that, the midfield battle in particular?
Yeah, I think they're a tough team to play against. They're fast, they're strong. It's always a battle. Or I've played them twice, but it's always been a battle in there. I expect the same on Saturday. I think both times we played them this season, we were the better team. We obviously drew the first game. I felt we were unlucky. They got a penalty, which I don't think was a penalty. And then here we were just strong performance, I think. So I'm expecting the same on Saturday, and feeling confident going into that.
Hamza, are you aware that it has been the defence in this fixture in the last couple of years that has hindered Workers from progressing, because this is the trend they need to buck? Is this back line in these final games?
I've heard like a little bit about it. Obviously I've been in around like the competition, so I know what's happened in the past, like against Ponds last 2 years, and then in the grand final. So yeah, I'm just trying to try and concede as less goals as possible, which I think if we do that, then I trust the front line and the midfield to score a few goals. So I just got to do my job at the back and help the team as much as possible.
Karim, I'd say that the game is won and lost in the midfield. That's why I got two of you on here. So that means it's key for you guys to be at your best, as it always is in any game. What's your experience having played for both Pons and now Workers coming up against these Marong units, which we know tend to bring it in finals?
Yeah, I don't know the specific stats. I've only been in the comp for about 4 years, but Marong for me are probably one of the most successful clubs in this district, especially come finals, whether they finish minor prems. When they come finals, Kev and Shia just know a way to, or find a way to get their players pumped and ready game by game. They don't look ahead. They don't look at the second game, the third game. They just look game by game, and they're going to be a tough opponent to take on Saturday. But at the end of the day, as the boys have said, if we rock up with our A game, with our plan and what we've done for, I don't know, whatever it's 18 weeks, wherever it's been now, and we play the football we can, and we match them with their intensity and their energy and their physicality, we can get the job done like we did here in the match of the round quite a few weeks ago.
With the trophy on your shoulder already, and knowing what that means in a first grade context in particular, is there a sense of swagger that can come with that, do you think?
Yeah, to an extent. I don't know. For me, yeah, for sure. But also on the same note, it's a completely separate. It's a completely separate thing. I guess it gives us confidence in that we have shown that we can get over the line to some extent. But again, like I said, it's a completely different thing. So I think that's how we're taking it.
Just want to speak about your midfield buddy as well, Luke. Mitchell Precious, a goal in that game, which was fantastic. 2 goals in the match of the round surrounding that Blacktown Cup final as well. What a time for him to find 3 goals in a matter of minutes, essentially, in game across 2. Fantastic player. Doesn't lose the ball. Scores goals now. So, 2 of the 3 midfielders that have started basically every game this season are here. But let's talk about the one that's not here, because I think, again, like the defence, these signings in key areas have been the key for this Workers team this year. What does Mitchell Precious bring to Blacktown Workers?
Well, he's the silent assassin. Doesn't say much, but he's ruthless. Won't mind me saying that, but he's been really, really good. It makes it very easy for me to play in there. I'm 27 now, so I can feel my legs going a little bit. So he's got plenty of energy. Very good at keeping the ball and driving forward. So he's come up with the goals at the right time. He won't mind me saying either that he missed a sitter against Quakers, and I mean a sitter. But he's come up with the goods when it mattered, and he's been good to play with.
Well, lucky he was off the nudie run already by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Ahmed, I throw to you, and again, this fixture is the key one, because I think what happened last year, it lives in my memory. A, because I was there, but B, because it was a bad result for you guys. But I also think Pons happened to play some really, really good football that day. Does it help that it's not the Pons that you're facing again?
I guess, but regardless, we got to play them. We got to be. If we want to win the grand final, we have to beat them anyway. So, and we're in a stage where, it doesn't matter when we play them, we have to do it. So, yeah.
Fair enough. Hamza, you have only experienced Marong as in first-hand on the pitch with your experiences this year, essentially. So you're the best person to ask alongside Luke. Across the 2 games that you've been part of, what's their strongest aspect, do you think, as a team?
Well, I only played them once this year. I was injured the second time. But I think their biggest strength, as Luke said, is their physicality and strength. Especially being as a centre back, they love to play direct and balls in behind for their strikers and wingers to run onto. And so I think that's probably their biggest strength, their speed, their strength, and just being up for it no matter even if they've had somewhat poor season, they'll still turn up for the big games and bring their intensity.
Karim, I ask you, and I ask every team this when it comes to knockout football at this time of the year, to have a sort of pessimistic view. If this was to be the last game of the season, if this was the one where workers do bow out, what's your reflection on what the season would have been like? What's the report card grading? What would you call it?
Yeah, I think if we lose, I'd give it a B. If we win, I'd give it an A. If that's a report grade, I don't know. I failed school, so I don't freaking know. Yeah, look, I think either way, we've achieved a lot with this group, and to be honest, I think it is a young squad. I think average age is pretty young compared to other squads out there. So I think we've been extremely successful. Blacktown Cup was a great aspect for the club, for our squad, but also for the club itself. First grade probably haven't been the most successful squad in Blacktown Workers, so it's always been Resis who have won the 3 grand finals and then lost the one last year. So it's always been Resis. So this year it's been good that first grade have been the one when we've got a home game here at 𝙨𝙧𝙧. It's a nice crowd. I think we've done a lot for the club. This week's just another game. We just need to go out there, play what we can do and what we've been doing for 18 weeks, and then hopefully Marong let us score a few goals and River stops running, and then we're all good.
Okay, yeah, let's see. Ahmed, now correct me if I'm wrong. Your Resis team didn't quite make the finals cut because of a rather crazy Pons scoreline on the final day against them. You can't speak for the reserve graders, but if do you have a response to like how disappointing that was, or the manner in which it was taken off you?
Yeah, I mean the boys were hurting, that's for sure. I think everyone was, to be honest. Like, pretty devastating, I guess, how it happened. But ultimately, I think the opinion was shared throughout that like it was ultimately on us. Like, regardless of what other teams did, I think we had so many draws, and we dropped a lot of points to bottom half teams. So like we put the blame on ourselves, regardless of whatever happened on the final day and other games and stuff like that. So
okay, fair enough. I will go to Luke to try and eke out a more controversial answer. Do you think it was fair or sporting?
Nah, I think that's poor. Pretty embarrassing if you ask me. Moving your first grade players down just to get that result, I just think it lacks class, if I'm being honest. That's just my opinion.
Now I'm going to go back to Ahmed because he's been here a little bit longer. Now, one thing that I think people will be watching this screaming at their TVs for is that workers have traded between first and Resis for the last couple of years. So, not comeuppance in the worst kind of way, but is it fair to say that this is something that people are allowed to do if they're allowed to do it?
I mean, yeah, like ultimately they can do whatever they want, and like I said, it was on us for even getting into that position in the first place. Like, we dropped a lot of points against the bad team, against the lower teams. So, a team can do whatever they want. If they need to make finals, they need to make finals, and fair play to them, they did it. So,
yep, I tend to agree with both points in some ways. Does the squad believe, Hamza, that they can win this grand final series?
Yes, definitely. I think we've shown this season that we are, I think, by far the best footballing team in the comp. I think just the thing that needs to change is turning up for the big games and doing it when it matters. And as Ahmed said, that the Blacktown Cup kind of showed that we can win a trophy, we can win a grand final. But I think, we just got to believe and trust that we can win and beat any team, and just perform how we've been performing and trust everyone. And I think, we can definitely win the grand final.
And one thing I want to ask you as well, just off the back of that reserve grade conversation that we had, what it actually means is you've got a bit more depth potentially coming into this first grade final series rather than juggling across 3 grades or across 2. You've got this. You got the gap between in not having Resis, and that means you can actually rest some players and have a really, really strong or full bench potentially. So how are you guys looking depth-wise heading into this first grade final series, especially considering now that, sure, it's very sad that the Resis didn't make it, but now they're available to help you guys out off the bench?
Yeah, I think it will be very important that we have a fresh bench, as during the season we haven't had that much depth on the bench, but I think there's some good good quality in the resis, like putting some of the young lads on like half an hour to go, 20 to go. It's good to help us if we're missing something, if we need something extra. But I think the 11 players on the pitch can definitely get a job done for most of the game, but in some situations, yeah, having some fresh legs on the bench I think is important. And yeah, we've got a lot of quality in the resis team.
Is anyone not available that we know of?
First grade or resis?
Just anybody that could be eligible to play and kick a ball come the match of the round.
I think everyone's
available.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. No holidays booked, no sickness, no injuries. Wow, that's fantastic. That's pretty good. Cameron, what would a grand final win mean to you personally?
I already did it at Blacktown Cup. I'm not even thinking about grand final, not even thinking about next weekend. I've got a game on Saturday to not get 3 points, but win to move on to next weekend. So I'm not even thinking about grand final.
I like the way you think. I've given you a prediction question before, so I'm going to give it to you again. Do you potentially have one that's a bit more dialed in compared to what you gave us some 15 months ago?
No, I think it's going to be an extremely close game. As everyone said, it's going to be a physical battle. It's going to be some quality football out there. I hope it's an entertaining game for everyone to come out to watch. But I'll call it match of the round double up, so 3-1 Workers.
Okay, fantastic. That's interesting considering what your adversary said on the other side. Thanks very much for coming out here on a non-training night as well to give us the content. And wishing you the best of luck heading into this weekend. Give us a good show. Thank you.
Towards Icon! Oh my word. And now played and struck and in! Further forward now, 𝙨𝙧𝙧𝙧! Ryan Dominici! Wants a second goal. Isabel